Hi class, how are you today? That's great! So, for our very first lesson in geometry, the learning target is to identify and name geometric figures. And going along with the learning target, we have a scale so you, after the video, can rate yourself from a 0 to a 3 on where you think you are. So a 3, you can identify and name geometric figures. A 2, you can identify geometric figures, but you can't name them. And we'll get into what naming means in a moment. Identifying is saying that's a point, that's a line segment. Naming will be a specific way on how to name certain things. A 1 is that you can identify only a small amount of geometric figures. So less than half of what I give you, essentially. And a 0, you can't name any, except maybe like 1 or 2. You know what a point is. That sort of thing. But if you can't name any, it's a 0. And that's pretty much for yourself. We will be going over it in class, but that is wholly for yourself to see yourself grow and understand how much you know. Let's get started. Alright, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to give you a geometric term, a figure, what it's called, and then I'm going to show you the image, what it looks like. And then I'm going to name it. I'm going to show you how it's named in geometry. So first we're going to start with a line. And a line looks like this. A line is something that goes on forever. Hence, the arrows on both sides. This line will go on forever in both directions and never stop. So a line has to have arrows to show that it goes forever, and the 2 points on it show that it's A, B. So we would call this line line AB because of the points on it. Now that kind of delves into how we name it. And to name it, you would say line AB, but to write it, you would write it like this. AB with a line over it, with the arrows. Seem easy enough? Let's keep going. The next term is a line segment. And it looks like this. It's ending. It starts at a point and ends at a point. Those are called endpoints. The endpoints are A and B. And just like in a line, this is called line AB, and it's named like this. AB with a line segment over it. So notice the difference between a line and a line segment. A line goes on forever, a line segment ends. The next term is a ray. It looks like this. A ray starts at a point and then goes on forever. So this would be ray AB. You start at the end point and then go to the next point. And it's named like this. Ray AB. And one thing I want to note, with these two, if you switch them, it would be just fine. So if you called this line BA, that would be perfectly fine. If you called this line segment BA, that would be perfectly fine. If you called this ray BA, that would be wrong, because A is the end point and that's where you have to start. and then B is a point somewhere on the ray, but definitely not at the end. The next figure we're going to talk about is an angle. An angle looks like this. An angle always has 3 points that create it. And to name it, you would go in order, saying angle A, B, C. And we'll get into angles more later, but whatever the middle letter is, this is known as the vertex, when you name it, has to stay the middle letter. So the angle is sort of made at B, so B has to be the middle letter. You can say ABC or you can say CBA, and both are correct, but B has to be in the middle. And here's how you would name it. Angle ABC, having that angle mark right here, and then ABC. The next term we're going to learn is a point. A point is pretty simple. It's just one little dot, and I called it P, point P. Now to name it, all you do is just write the letter. You don't even say that it's a point or write the point. You just write the letter that the point is. So in this case, P. The next term we're going to talk about is a plane. So a plane is just a two-dimensional surface. If you think about it in real life, a plane could be a table, the part of a seat, any flat two-dimensional surface. And to name it, you would just say plane and then all the points inside of the plane. So in this case, plane ABCD. Now we're going to deal with some terms that you don't necessarily need to know how to name, but you need to know what they are and what they do. First, we have a polygon. The definition is an enclosed shape made up of at least 3 sides. So any shape that's completely enclosed and made up of only sides. So no curves or anything, just straight sides. And here are just some examples. We have a triangle, a quadrilateral, and a pentagon. But they can have many sides, infinitely many sides, sort of. But any number of sides as long as it's at least 3. Now we have a regular polygon. The only difference is that it's a polygon whose sides and angles are all congruent. And a couple examples. The most popular regular polygon is a square. All the sides and all the angles are congruent. I also drew a regular hexagon just to show there are other regular polygons other than just squares. Any polygon can be made into a regular polygon just having all the sides and all the angles equal. And by the way, congruent means the same. So all the sides are the same, all the angles are the same. And by same, I mean same measurement. If one is 8 meters, they're all 8 meters. If one angle is 30 degrees, all the angles are 30 degrees. That sort of thing. The next term is a circle. The definition of a circle is a shape where every point on the shape is equidistant from the center. Equidistant means equal distance. So any point on a circle, any single point, will be the same distance to get to the center of the circle. So no matter if you're going from here to here, here to here, here to here, as long as you're going from a point on the circle to the center, it will be the same distance. The next term is space. That's the infinite extension of the 3-dimensional region. Essentially what that means is everything. Just think of 3 dimensions, the world we live in, and just everywhere. That is space. For the example, I put a 3-dimensional coordinate plane. So it's like a normal coordinate plane, x-axis, y-axis, but then we have a third axis, z. So you think of length, height, and then depth. So that would make 3 dimensions. It's very difficult to put 3 dimensions on a 2-dimensional board right here, but that's the best I got. We won't be using the 3-dimensional coordinate plane much, if at all, but I thought I'd throw it out there. The next term we have are parallel lines. So parallel lines are 2 lines that never intersect. And the way you would show them is we have 2 lines here, and these little triangles, both going in the same direction, show that they're parallel. These 2 lines will never intersect. They will keep going forever and ever and ever and never touch. And the final term I'm going to be talking about today is perpendicular lines. They're 2 lines that intersect at a right angle, also known as a 90-degree angle. We'll talk more a bit about them when we get into angles a bit more, but right now they are 2 lines that intersect into a 90-degree angle. I believe you've heard of them before. I really think you should have, but if not, there you go. We'll be talking about those quite a bit all year. Alright, so that's it for the notes. Now we have the sponge activity. For these 4 problems, you're going to attempt them all, and if you attempt them, you get full credit on the homework, and if you get all of them right, you get a bonus point on the next test. So for this, they want you to identify and name each geometric figure. So what that means is, first, what kind of figure is it? Is it a line? Is it an angle? Is it a circle? What is it? And then name the geometric figure. So back when I showed you how to name them, name it like that. That's it for the video. Remember, take notes on the entire video and attempt the sponge activity. When you're done, submit them to your backpack. Have a good night.